Showdown time.
Showdown time.
Okay, so card game, but this was more recent. I lost. It's only a game of poker. A game I've played for a long time, and only lost twice. Who was the first? The man I killed, of course. Well, means I found a partner I've been looking for. Over a game of cards. Why, yes, over a game of cards. That was how we first met, 7 years ago. April 19th, 9:27 District Court Defendant Lobby number 2. Are we going to have a trial within a trial?
I think so. It has to be. There has to be a history lesson here.
Whew. Okay. It's been a long time since I felt such a rookie. Felt like such a rookie. Gotta try and relax. Ah,
Okay.
Good morning, Mr. Enigmar. Enigmar.
I'm sorry to have sprung this on you so suddenly.
I received the files from your previous attorney only yesterday. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure I'm prepared.
I understand I am asking the impossible of you.
Yes, well, you haven't really told me what happened yet. All we did was play cards.
And that was enough.
Actually, it wasn't. Trust me.
Good morning, Daddy. Ah, I'm so glad you came. You okay, Daddy? They're picking on you.
Why do they have question marks? We know who this is.
I am fine as always.
Get it.
This old boy here is to help me, after all.
That's a young man to you.
That's so adorable.
Good morning. That's a cute outfit you have on.
Thanks, my first show's today, after all.
Oh, I'm sure it is. What the heck is she talking about?
Oh boy.
Because for some reason they're not showing it's her name, even though we know exactly who she is.
I know, I'm tripping out.
Huh? Me? Look what he started.
I'm here.
What's this? Seems fate's clock will make me wait a little longer. At least, only less than 10 swift minutes remain. To all those who have supported me in my life's work, I give thanks. Farewell. Magnifi Gamarai.
I just got it. Oh. They told me to give it to the old boy in the blue suit with the old spiky hair. They said it was really important.
So is this forged then?
I think this is the forgery. What's this? A memo for you or some such?
Not from the looks of it. What's this? Looks like a page from someone's diary. Give it a read later.
We have a photo there?
So this is Magnifi, I'm guessing. What the heck?
That doesn't even look like Magnifi, actually. Like,
He's got a hole through his head. It looks like a hollow hole the way it is.
it does.
Also, got that
Same
there
thing
too.
with the crown.
Like the IV bag's not plugged into his arm, which is weird.
There's a syringe, looks like a pouch,
Syringe, a
and
pouch, a
golden
pistol,
gun.
and then you got the journal right here as well, which looks like it has a page torn out.
So they probably swapped what was written on it for what we just got.
Yeah, it is Magnifi.
Okay.
Magnifi Gamma, age 67, male. Estimated time is April 13th between 11 and 11:30 p.m. Cause of death, loss of blood from a bullet wound. No.
Had a malignant tumor.
Malignant tumor found in the victim's liver. What? Okay.
That's a shitty place to have a tumor, I'll tell you that. That'd be... Well, how do you feel about the trial today?
We'll get through it somehow. Incidentally, prosecutor today is a new guy here.
Ah, an easy win, then yes?
They're calling him a true thoroughbred in the history of the prosecutor's office. Of course, there's one of those every year.
The switching of attorneys just before a trial. I know it is a difficult situation I put you in. But, allow me to say this one thing, Mr. Wright.
Also, seeing him have the Enigma name makes me question, like, did, like, any of is Valent's real name actually Valent Grammari?
This guy's not Valent. There's three magicians involved.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
Like, but he mentioned Zach, and I feel like he mentioned Zach as a Grammari. It's like, why is
maybe this is his regular name, and then he has a stage name.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's like, is Grammari just a stage name? So is Valent's real name even Grammari?
Good point.
We'll have to see. Yes?
They will not be able to pronounce me guilty today. So do your best, but do not worry.
First time the defendant's ever given me a pep speech. I'll do what I can.
Ha 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 ha. I see you do not understand. You see, it will be impossible for them to declare a verdict.
Huh? Impossible?
Yes, isn't that right, Trucy?
Oh dear.
Yep, you bet, Daddy.
My first look at the case was only yesterday. The information I was given was a tad bit lacking, to be honest. Still, I'll do what I can, for their sake.
I believe the curtains will be lifting any time now. I am in your capable hands, Mr. Wright.
My client is Shadi Enigmar. Yep, there's Shadi. So his first name's still the same, so yeah. What's his real name? Shadi Smith? Enigmar? Shadi Ballard? Or whatever. Known to the world as Zach Gamurai. Ah, there we go. So it is confirming that for us. Wildly popular magician, star of the troupe Gamurai. His mentor, Magnifi Grammari, was a rare breed of magician. He single-handedly ushered in the golden age of stage magic until he was shot dead. And Zach Grammari is the suspect.
April 19th, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 7. Well, here we are. Court is now in session for the trial of Shadi Enigmar.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Is the prosecution ready?
I was just thinking, is this what all the fuss is about? Bit of a buzzkill, really?
Buzzkill is some new kind of crime?
One of the worst. This is a trial, Jack. Where are the sweaty palms? The pounded hearts? Gavinier's concert got 10 times the thrill this gig's got.
Who were you again?
Clivier Gavin. I came to get the party started. Legally, Jack.
Gavin, defense attorney Christoph Gavins.
Ah, figures my bro's more famous in this part of town. Xavier Gavin, lead singer of the mega hit band, The Gavineers. You're out of your league, rock boy. I know what you're thinking. You're out of your league, rock boy.
That's pretty accurate.
True, my debut single, 13 Years Hard Time for Love, went platinum overnight. But that's just a hobby to me compared to this guy. Talkative, aren't you? I like your affected Euro rock accent, by the way. I'm just getting warmed up, Air Attorney Rat.
Perhaps you would be so kind to fill us in on the case.
Tongue, baby. Time to call the opening act. What was his name again? Yeah, Detective Gumshoe! Yeah!
Oh, God. Who did him last time? I forget.
Well, we haven't had him in this game, and we each did him on our own, so.
Yeah.
Well, let's see.
I'll do him, because I have...
And you are?
Hey, you were the one who called me up here, sir. Name is Dick Gumshoe. I'm a homicide detective down at the precinct.
Detective Gumshoe. Long time no see?
Hey, you!
Huh? Me?
Today's the day, pal. Today I win and you lose. I got confidence in my testimony today. See?
It's like, Phoenix, I know what you do. You're not gonna break me today. What? Normally you lack confidence in your testimony. Hey, detective, this is my stage. Candy antics.
Huh?
All this hey Ewing and such. And I could care less about your history together.
Irk. Very well, Detective Gumshoe, if you would. Please tell us about the case at hand. It happened 6 days back in a room at General Hospital. The facts are simple as they come. Here's the crime scene. The victim was a patient, sleeping in the hospital bed. The killer comes in, puts a pistol in his forehead, and bam, lights it.
Well, I immediately see a problem with that. Because, you know, there's no gunpowder residue on the forehead.
Not even residue, like, we could just say that he did more than that because he unplugged the IV. And it's taped, too. So, them's the facts. Not so long ago, the victim, Magnifigramurai, was a famous man. He had the entire country under his magical spell, as it were.
Ah, yes, the great magician. He retired years ago, though. Say the name Magnifi to one of my generation, and you'd be lucky to get a blank stare.
Yes, though I'm sure the youngsters today know his disciples even better. I dare say Troop Grammar has made quite a name for themselves. Anyhow, the retired Magnifi's been in the hospital for the last year. What was it? A mal ignorant tumor or something? Doing something to his liver, I think. Yeah, liver. A malignant tumor, perhaps.
In other words, he had liver cancer. He had only 3 months left to live, in fact. So why would someone kill him? Like, they would... What? See. The tumor has progressed to the final stage with no hope of recovery. Patient has 3 months left to live. Patient has chronic diabetes. Required regular insulin.
What if that insulin is not an IV? Like,
but still, that...
Or is IV contain insulin?
That should be in his arm. Why is it not in his arm?
facts do seem simple enough. But something's not right.
The victim was already climbing a 3-month stairway to heaven. Why not wait for him to knock, knock, knock on heaven's door? Why shoot him?
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Hey, hey.
Knock,
Hey,
knock.
hey, yeah.
Why make the effort to commit murder when the victim was about to die?
Incidentally, the victim had a serious case of diabetes. Diabetes?
Diabetes.
Diabetes. I'm gonna say diabetes.
In fact, he was about to shoot up with insulin. When he was shot with a pistol, the syringe was found at the crime scene. Chronic diabetes and cancer. As much as it pains me to say it, the victim was clearly at the end of his life.
Oh, you have to look at that. Had been washed and no signs of use. So it's full?
Why's the plunger down
Also,
here? If it's yeah, if the plunger's down there, that means it's been used. I always hated getting shots. I guess Magnifi was giving himself the insulin shots. There's no way I could do that. Wait. If Magnifi used this to inject his insulin, why are there no traces of having been used? Yeah, like if it's not been used and it was used to give him the insulin, why is it down here?
You have to push the thing in and then suck up the insulin bottle when you have it.
Ah.
Why did the killer have to shoot this dying man? What reason could he have had?
Very well, detective. Perhaps you can enlighten us to the circumstances of the shooting.
Yes, sir.
Yes! Original cross-examination music, let's go!
That's awesome. Actually, the victim kind of ordered the defendant to do him in. A few days ago before it happened, the victim sent a letter ordering his own murder. The defendant did what was asked of him and shot the old man in the forehead. The bullet was fired from the pistol found at the scene, no doubt about it. And the pistol definitely belonged to the old man, sir. What? You're saying the victim ordered his own shooting?
Those are the facts. I have here the letter in question.
Alright, let's zoom in on that
we
one.
want to read that. To my beloved student Zach, to you I entrust the task of lowering my life's curtain. Come on the 13th, 11:05 p.m. I will ready a gun with which you will shoot. One shot, square in the forehead. You cannot refuse, and we both know the reason why. Sounds like a threat to me.
Sounds more like a trap, if anything. Interesting. Especially since he's the one who received the magic stuff.
Yeah. Extra confusion.
Very unusual indeed. But that's post-nut clarity. I mean, post-clarity.
Yeah.
Although, could such a thing as a letter really cause one to pull a trigger, I wonder?
I believe the answer to that question can be found at the end of the letter.
Ah, you cannot refuse, and we both know the reason why. Detective Gumshoe, can you explain this to the court? Unfortunately, even the defendant won't say a peep about that bit, sir.
One thing bothers me about this. Why didn't he just say 11? Why have him come at 11:05 without some specific reason? The devil in the details there, attorney.
Well, was there some reason?
As it turns
Voice
out,
Canadian.
There was every night for the half hour starting at 11. The victim, Magnific Montgomery, was given an IV. An IV?
There it is in the picture off to the side of the bed. At 11,
At 11, the doctor would come to set up the IV. 30 minutes later, he would come back for the empty bag. This happened every night without fail. So that was the only time they could meet without the chance of an ultimately untimely interruption during his IV.
Very well, shall we begin? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you would.
What's this reason he couldn't refuse, I wonder? Could have at least mentioned it to me. Oh, sorry, Phoenix. You can't know. Just because he got the letter doesn't mean he went through with it. Oh, I disagree. The victim was indeed shot in the forehead, after all. He did it just as he had commanded. It could be a setup. Let's not be in such a hurry. Maybe we should let the witness talk for a change.
Thanks, pal.
Fine. I can play it slow as well if I can play fast. Almost a testimony, Detective Gumshoe. And the letter was sent by the victim.
There it is. Gotcha. You're all mine this time, pal.
Huh?
I had the handwriting checked out, of course. It's the victim's, no mistake.
Ah, I see.
Score one for the boys.
I didn't lose. I was just asserting the facts. So why am I suddenly annoyed?
But a letter ordering your own death? Things aren't what they used to be, I guess.
I'm not sure if this is exactly commonplace, even now, Your Honor.
So anyway, I guess I'll keep going while I'm ahead.
How can you be so sure?
Hey, you gotta learn to stop relying on people to do your thinking for you, pal. Learn to think for yourself, get that noggin cracking.
You failed to grasp the concept of questioning, Detective.
First, we got this letter. It says, shoot in the forehead, loud and clear.
I can see that, but I still wouldn't do it.
Well, maybe you need to grow yourself a backbone, pal.
You fail to grasp the concept of shooting people as bad, Detective.
We also found the defendant's pistol at the scene.
Traces of gunpowder residue show it had been fired recently.
Well, Mr. Wright. As far as I can tell from looking at this photo, there seems to be no issue with the prosecution's claim.
I think I do see an issue, though. I see multiple issues, actually. The photo. Maybe there's something there I can use. So we're saying the defendant shot the victim in the forehead. I think there's a hole in the prosecution's argument.
Not something else.
Yeah. Wait.
Because he shot the doll.
Because my problem is...
Why shoot it?
Well, yeah, there's that. And also, where's it's like if it was shot in the head, like it was. Where's the gunpowder?
There'd be a lot of blood too, man.
Yeah, there's no blood either. Like what the heck? That's a different weird thing. It's like where's the blood?
The IV bag's full too, so that means he didn't even get the IV.
Looking at this photo, another possibility occurs to me.
Yes.
What does the letter tell us? The event had a reason he couldn't refuse his teacher's wishes.
Bingo, pal. That's why the defendant popped him one in the forehead.
Oh, the defense disagrees. You see, the defendant had another choice he could make.
Objection!
What? And you can prove that with this photo? I can prove he had a choice, yes.
The defendant might have fired like he was ordered, but he didn't shoot the victim's forehead. Well, let's hear what you're thinking, Mr. Wright. If he didn't shoot the victim's forehead, what did the defendant shoot? The clown doll?
Take a closer look. See? It's been shot in the forehead too.
Ah, there's a hole in its forehead.
Yes, and a hole in the prosecution's claim.
Objection!
Ha! And I suppose you have a reason as to why he'd shoot a clown doll? He didn't just shoot the doll. He shot the doll's forehead. His forehead? Ah! Let's read the orders once more, shall we? You will shoot one shot square in the forehead. Which is exactly what he did. He shot the clown doll square in the forehead.
The defense has raised an intriguing possibility. That hole in the clown's forehead, it definitely looks like it was shot. Bailiff, send someone to investigate this matter. Why haven't they? What the hell?
I admit, I'm impressed, but I expected nothing less. Still doesn't mean he didn't shoot the victim.
Objection!
Perhaps he didn't have to shoot the forehead as ordered. But the letter says nothing about whose forehead. So the only way he had to follow his orders without taking a life.
The bullet hole in the clown doll's forehead does demand an explanation. It might very well be a clue, yet Prosecutor Gavin is right. It alone does not prove the defense's innocence.
We don't have the gun. But this also kind of looks like a single shot pistol too.
It really does.
We need that gun.
Here's what also worries me, is that bag is not facing the victim.
Yep.
I just thinking about that. So that the insulin was going to be applied by someone else, and then they might have shot him. You cannot say for sure the defendant didn't shoot the victim.
So sorry, Mr. Rat. How sad it is to see the mighty fall.
How sad is it to
How
see
sad is it to see the
Yeah.
novice's overconfidence?
Too
Doesn't
used to
realize
being
just how
defended.
big this little hole is going to get.
Detective Gumshoe. Tongue? Please take this newfound fact into account as you continue your testimony. Wasn't it like one shot though?
Well, we don't have any confirmation about the pistol. Like, it doesn't confirm anything about the pistol. We just have a picture of it. So let me get this straight. You're saying my client first shot the clown, then shot the victim?
Hey, not a bad summary, pal.
More of a confirmation than a summary, but whatever. That was really more of a confirmation than a summary. But Professor Tony seems pleased enough with himself. Do these people ever miss a chance to mock me? Well, now that's Mr. Pratt's got that out of his system. Shall we continue with the testimony? Didn't have time to gather all the details before coming in. This testimony might be my only source of information. Better pay attention and read this letter carefully. Maybe it wants us to look at point this out with the IV. Like if the IV's not plugged in.
Ivy was never plugged in at all.
I think it might be this one.
Why?
Because like this is where it mentions like the defendant shooting him, but the letter says to come. So it could be this, or it could be the photo. I feel.
Is there a time in that photo?
I don't think so. But this
No
photo is taken
time.
after.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be either of these because I feel like it might be this one because the game specifically mentioned to read the letter. I don't remember if we pressed this one. Oh yeah, we didn't press this one yet. You mean this pistol, the one in the crime scene photo?
That's the one. It's a funny looking gun, so there's no mistaking it.
We compared the bullet taken from the victim's skull with the bullet fired from his gun. The rifle marks on the bullet are a perfect match. So you verified the murder weapon, in other words.
You bet we did.
Why are you so certain?
Pile of sand has your head stuck in all this time, pal. You never heard of Zack and Valiant's quick draw shoot 'em?
Huh? What's that?
One of the defendant's specialties. Zack and Valiant stand on either side of a girl. Then they shoot. But the bullets don't hit her. Instead, they hit everything else on stage. This is one of the pistols they used in their show. So that means there's two. Got a great design, huh? The kids love it.
Yeah, but they wouldn't have the same ballistic markings. Many boys and girls joined the police because of that pistol out here. You know, that would explain a lot of the police force.
Your grandma stopped doing that act a while ago. The old man held onto that pistol ever since. The court would like to see the pistol in question.
There
You
we
got
go.
it, sir. Here she is. Well, this is truly a blast from the past. Stage pistol for magic shows, see? But I can fire real bullets. It looks so much bigger in real life than on TV. Yeah, but it can only hold one round. There we go.
Now we got it.
By the way, the pistol's firing chamber is empty. And it shows traces that haven't been fired recently.
So were any fingerprints found on the gun? Unfortunately, no. Of course, the defendant is known for wearing gloves. We might say that a lack of fingerprints is in fact a fingerprint of its own.
Aha, intriguing point. Well made.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Not well made, not intriguing.
In any case, the court accepts this into evidence. All right.
Now we can do it.
My grandchild will get a kick out of seeing this. Can't have it, though. But now it's time to return to our testimony.
Objection!
The trickiest cases often seem the simplest. Prosecutor Gavin, you've missed the bullet hole in the clown's forehead. You missed the bullet hole in the clown's forehead. If you hadn't missed that, you might have come to a very different conclusion. Understand?
Yeah, but like I just said, pal. After he shot the clown in the forehead, he went in.
Objection!
Did nothing of the sort to the victim. The pistol proves he could not.
The murder weapon? How?
It's quite simple, Your Honor. The pistol only holds one bullet at a time.
Ah!
If he had shot the clown in the forehead, he could not have shot the victim too. Boom, 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 boom.
Objection!
That's not a contradiction. Not even close. All he had to do was reload the pistol after the first shot.
Objection!
Oh, where'd he get the extra bullet? They're not so easy to come by, you know. You claim the defendant had one ready. If you claim the defendant had one ready, then prove it to us how he got it. I had a feeling this wasn't over yet. No, this party's just getting started. And I haven't proven anything yet, beyond my good looks and startling record sales. An utter lack of humility.
And what's this? It seems that the prosecution has another witness prepared.
Like I said, Air Detective, it was just a warm back.
Ugh.
Now that the audience has gotten a taste of what's to come, they're ready. Ready for what?
The other grammar, eh?
For my decisive witness, of course. A witness who, you will find, can prove one thing for us. That it was Zach Grammer who shot the victim in the forehead.
Very well. We'll pause for a 15-minute recess.
This might be my lucky break. I needed that 15 minutes to talk to my client, Zach.
Court is adjourned.
April 19th, 11:21 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 2.
Very impressive, Mr. Wright. I have to say, I expected nothing less.
We've only just begun. I was hoping you'd tell me a bit more about what happened, actually.
I did not think you would believe me if I told you. Better that you discovered the truth for yourself. I was thinking of you, you know.
I think we need less thinking and more talking. That night in the hospital, what really happened?
Ah, the way your eyes gleam, Mr. Wright. You're scared, Trucy.
Speaking of which, where is she?
You have seen the problem yourself, the letter.
The one shot in the forehead one, right?
Yes, and the reason he speaks of. I could not deny my mentor's wishes, even if it meant my own death.
Why not?
This is something I will not say, for now at least.
What's this for now business?
I have done many things in my life, some well, some poorly. This is the cross we must bear alone to our graves.
We?
You want to know about the night of the 8th incident?
Finally. This guy sure likes to take his time getting to the important stuff.
But I have no intention of shooting my mentor. I snuck into his room that night at the appointed time. And found there upon his bedside table 2 pistols.
So it was 2 pistols. Ooh. Two?
Yes, the one I had used on stage. And the one that had been used by my partner, Valent.
Uh-oh. Oh, for the Zack and Valence quick draw thing.
My mentor had the look of one sleeping. I stood by his bedside, hearing only the light sound of his breathing. Then I took the pistol into my hand. I cannot deny my resolve faltered then for a moment.
You faltered? You mean you thought about shooting him?
Recall there was a reason I could not refuse his request. His last such request, though not his first.
So there were other requests you couldn't refuse before.
To be honest, I've not always been steadfast, and I fear I brought upon pain upon Trucy.
Was Magnifi coercing his disciples somehow? That's what was going on in True Grammar, eh?
Yet, in the end, I did not shoot him. Instead, I turned and shot the clown. I took the pistol I had fired and placed it in my pocket.
Oh, he took it with him. In your pocket?
I believe if you examine the bullet in the clown's head, you will find it to be different than the one of my mentor. What were those called?
Rifling marks.
Yes, well, that's all I have to tell you concerning the case. Give me his pistol!
Concerning case. You mean there's something else you can tell me?
Yeah. You are a fascinating man, Mr. Wright.
Thanks?
Yes, there is something. My mentor, his eyes opened.
What? Magnifi Grammari?
The old devil, he was not asleep, you see. Of course, the gunshot would have woken him anyway. I'm clicking in. And there we had our last discussion as mentor and pupil. It was not a long discussion. Maybe 5-10 minutes or so.
Also, can I just say Magnifi looks angry? He looks super angry.
I just thought of something. So, Magnifi knew he was dead, right?
Also, pause. IV's in his arm.
Good to know, but... So, actually that does matter. So think of it this way. Magnifi is going to die, right? The trial is called Turnabout Succession. He has to pick one of his 2 pupils to take his magic stuff with him, right? If, for some chance, that Magnifi gave them both the same letter, and one of them shot the doll, and the other one shot him right after.
So Valent's
it's
the
at a
one that killed Magnifi then.
And then his letter says 10 short minutes, right? Which is weird, because if that letter is photoshopped or like is copied, you know, Death Note style, maybe the time, the 10 minutes, is actually a different time, and that points it towards our lovely magician that's been running free for 7 years.
Maybe.
It's just a weird thought, but...
What did you talk about?
Mr. Wright, did I not just tell you? It does not concern this case.
It might. Zach Grammar. He seems pretty steadfast to me. Or maybe just stubborn. Mr. Wright, your presence is requested in the courtroom.
Once again, I am in your hands.
Right. Let's get back in there. April 19th, 11:37 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 7.
Court is now back in session.
During our reset, a bullet was found and dug from the clown's head.
Well, this is news, as the rifling marks.
There wasn't time to do a detailed analysis. They didn't find the weapon type matched the murder weapon.
Well, that's not a very conclusive, is it?
Which is why I'm about to call my very decisive witness. Your decisive witness? How many times have I heard those words? Those often turn out far less decisive than you think. Oh, don't worry on my account. I'm quite confident this witness will do the job. After all, he's intimately acquainted with the players in our little production. Bring the other half of Troop Gamma Ray's famous duo, Zack and Valent. Oh,
Valent
here he
Gamma Ray.
comes.
Here we go.
Valent Gamma Ray. So we get to meet the great Magnifi's other disciple.
Ooh.
Perhaps they'll start by asking your name and occupation. Valent Gamma Ray, magician.
And you're the decisive witness, are you? You can prove your fellow student your partner's guilt?
Fate, the grand illusion, filled with traps and tricks. Wait, the shooting took place in the hospital after 11 o'clock at night. If you're a witness, does that mean you were there that late? If only one was to deduce this logically, the conclusion is yes! Suspect. Okay. Why do I always get characters I don't? I always get the characters, don't I? I have an interesting fact for you. You see, several days before the crime, my witness received this. Oh, that's you.
That looks very familiar. I say we're about even
Wait.
today.
That's the same letter Zach Grammar I received.
Just like I predicted.
Yes, or perhaps I should say, ta-da! Oh boy.
Order, order, order. And what does it say? Surely not the same thing.
Perhaps you should see for yourself. 11:20.
Why, they're practically the same. The court accepts this into evidence.
So yeah, definitely looking like Valent killed him.
I think I know where this case is going. We accuse Valent, but Valent gets off based on that last page.
Probably.
Because it's going to coincide with the autopsy report. This is most unusual. Exactly what's going on with you folks? What exactly was your troop Grammary up to?
By which you mean?
Just having trouble envisioning a man who would ask his students to kill him. Both of them, no less.
It's just my opinion there, Judge. From this letter, I'd say he was coercing them, not asking them.
Who's doing Valent, by the way?
Well, I've already been doing him before, so I'm just continuing. We walked a magician's path together, and in so doing, shared much of our lives. When people are so close, there is a string, a wrapping of revelation, you might say. Yet this has nothing to do with the case at hand. By which you mean you're not going to tell us. Which makes me wonder even more about this reason he couldn't refuse.
Well, let's get on with the testimony for starters. The defendant, Zach Gramery, stands accused. Tell us why. And where is Maya?
Dead. Oh, I'll do more than that. For where he walks, the red rose rise singing hymns to the miracle that is magic. Fascinating, though I hardly need to remind you that the evidence could just clearly point to you as a suspect. The letter, the murder weapon, and now the 2 bullets found at the scene.
In fact, the only difference seems to be the designated time.
As every magician knows, timing is everything. Yes, and now it's time to get the party fired up. That night, I visited a hospital room at the time Magnifi requested. The smell of gunpowder hung in the room, and my mentor had taken his final bow. I do not imagine my fellow student might have received the same instructions. Yet a deal with the dead is still a deal. Death's sweet kiss I gave to the crown. Then I informed the doctor and the police.
So you're the one who reported the crime?
Indeed, I would think. This fact alone would clear my name of suspicion. Not a chance. He's like, oh, I reported this crime. Clearly, I'm innocent, right? Come on, Valiant. You're smarter than that, right? Let's not jump to any conclusions.
Yes, the cross-examination generally comes before the conclusions in a court. But if your testimony proves to be true...
Yeah, I love how the judge says that. Like, the cross-examination usually comes first, even though witnesses give testimony. Judge, well, I think I'm good enough to give a verdict now. Come on.
And the defendant, Zach Gramery, is guilty.
And if it wasn't Zach, then the killer was you, Valiant. There's no disappearing act will get you out of that.